Hey guys, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a little chit chat about depression getting me down and how much I miss alcohol and how it's impacting my life. I'm gonna make a little beveragino here with a blackberry bubbly and a raspberry lemonade ginger ale. Because when I'm filming this, it is Saturday night and I am hanging out at home with the dogs by myself. I'm going to try and not edit this video really because I just want to get it uploaded. I wanted to just talk about my mental health right now because it is not doing so hot. Oh no, that almost overflowed. But yeah, so that is good. Anyways, it's almost been a month since I've stopped drinking alcohol, and this last month has gone by really, really fast. I've been pushing myself a lot and I've been surviving, not thriving. I've not been doing too well, and I've now noticed that I was on a steep decline down, and now I'm like at the bottom, kind of plateauing and need to get back up. But I don't know, where to even begin, because I guess we'll start with like self-care. So when I get into a really heavy work grind, like if you follow my channel, then I've been posting almost every day on here because, to be fair, I would like to make content creating part of my job. I work part-time at a dairy barn, but I would love to also pursue YouTube on the side and make money from it, because I'm really passionate about what I do, about talking about mental health, sharing my life, things like that, and I would love to take this on. But that being said, in order to get there, I've had to work really hard and just make a lot of videos, and when I focus on that, I don't really have a lot of balance in my life. When I focus on something, I put my all into it, but then every other aspect of my life suffers. So when I'm focused on making content, I don't look after myself, I don't work out, I don't eat well, I don't do my skincare, I don't brush my teeth. I shower every day because I work at a barn, so I stink, so I have to shower. But I find it really hard to look after myself. And then when I get to that point, I'm like, oh, well, like, screw it. What's one more day if I don't wash my face or do my skincare? Like, doesn't matter now, so I just might as well not do it. And it makes me feel really bad about myself, because if I also get into the mindset like, oh, well, I didn't do it yesterday, so why should I do it today? Like, I've already ruined it, so might as well just keep going with what I've been doing. And that's a really hard place for me to get out of, getting back on track with my habits and my routines. I've been taking the dogs for walks pretty much every day, but other than that, my binge eating has gotten really, really bad and really out of control. Again, I say screw it. I don't care. I just want to eat what I want to eat. Give me all the sugar, give me all the carbs, the fast food, the fattening food. I just don't care about myself to fuel my body efficiently. And this is just me being very open and honest, because I feel like a lot of people, when they like post depression content, they're like, oh, I just like make myself a nice tea at night and that really gets me out of the slump, or have a nice bath. And yes, that feels good in the moment, but that doesn't help my depression. And when I'm in the depressive episode, I'm like, I know I am in it, but it's almost more depressing. And I'm like ashamed of having depression and feeling this way. Like, I have a great life. I love my job. I have an amazing boyfriend. My home life is pretty good. I have a dog. So on the surface level, I shouldn't be feeling the way I shouldn't be feeling the way I am. And I have no reason to feel this way, which makes things even worse, because I'm like, why? What am I doing wrong? And that is when I would use the alcohol to mask all of my feelings. And being almost a month sober, I've had to face a lot of things, and I think that's why my binge eating has gotten worse, because now I left one coping mechanism for another, and I've seen the repercussions of my eating on my body, which again makes things even worse because after my binge eating, I'm like noticeably inflamed and probably have gained weight. I don't weigh myself, but I probably have. Like I can just see I'm like not as lean as I was. My skin is not as clear. My face looks a little like swollen and puffy. My belly feels puffy. I feel heavy everywhere. And that's because when I get the unwanted feelings, I just turn to food because I saw this thing and I don't know if it's true. I've only heard one person say it, but you can't be stressed when you're eating. Yes, the stress can cause the eating, but while you are physically in the act of eating, that's like what you're focused on, so you don't feel the stress and don't feel like the negative unwanted thoughts or feelings. So that's why people overeat and cope with food, because it distracts you from that. And it's very effective at what it does. Let me tell you that much for free. And then that just causes me to spiral even more because I just don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel. It's debilitating almost. Like I'm a very high functioning depressed person. Like I show up for, well, I guess I really only have one commitment that I have to show up for, and that's my job. And I show up for that, but I don't show up for myself. And I've been getting very, very irritated recently with all my friends, and it's just been not a fun time. And I don't know how to stop it, I guess. Like, because when I'm in the mindset right now, it's like, it's not like I'm gonna get back here at some point. Like things will be good for a bit, but I know I'll find myself back in this spot. So why even try? Like, why don't I just ride it out? Just let it happen. Let my depression control me and control my emotions instead of actively trying to better myself and get myself out of this. It really happens when I'm overwhelmed and I miss the alcohol because now I have to face my issues. Whereas before with alcohol, if I was feeling things, I would get drunk and then I would stop feeling things because I would be so hyper fixated on the consequences of my drinking. Like I would focus on all of the things, all of the chaos I created when I was drunk, and then that would replace the unwanted feelings that I'd have. And I've only recently found or like discovered that cycle I was in, that I'd have unwanted feelings, something would come up in my life that I wasn't happy with, and then I would go out, get drunk, say shit I didn't want to say when I was out drinking, do things I didn't want to do, and then those actions would follow me into when I was sober and into the weeks after that, where I would just hyperfixate on all of my actions when I was drunk. I'd forget about the feelings that caused me to drink, and then the cycle would just repeat itself all over again. And now without having that alcohol, I am stuck in this unwanted place. But then when I replace it with eating, then I can temporarily fix those feelings, but they never go away. And now I have to get to the root cause of it because the effects of my overeating are starting to be very visible, and I have become very, very aware of it and can see it everywhere. And like, I don't know, man, like it's hard. I am not going to therapy right now because I think I was using that as another like distraction thing. Like I wasn't going to therapy to get out what I wanted. I would go talk about a situation, pretty much just like dump stuff to my therapist, and then she would give me homework to do, and I would never do my homework. I would never really focus on what I talked about in therapy. I would just go talk and move on. And I think that's because I don't know myself what I want to talk about. I don't even know if this makes sense. I'm sure it does, but so like I'd go talk about an instance, but it's just the consequences of what I'm truly feeling. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, therapy's on hold for right now. I think it definitely has its time and place, but I think I have a lot of deeper inner work I have to do on my own before I can go to therapy to work through the traumas, because I don't think I'm aware of the big things in my life that I need to talk about, because I sometimes feel like I don't know myself, because I am a very, very different person now than I was like 3 or 4 years ago. And I feel very lost without the drinking in my life. And I feel very lost without holding on to like my mental health issues. Like I feel like I would hold on to the depression, and Sully is biting his paws and it's really annoying me. Sorry. He's sitting beside me on the couch and it's really distracting. But I felt like my anxiety and depression kind of was my personality, and I'm ready to let that go now. But that involves work. That involves me understanding myself, and I just don't even know where to start. I don't know how to understand myself. I wish I wasn't depressed, wish I didn't have to deal with this stuff, and I think I will have to deal with it forever, but I don't know if I'm ready to accept that yet, that I will always be working on my mental health. I will be always working with my depression and anxiety, and it might never go away, but I would like to find tools to manage it, because I don't look after myself always in the best way. I'm very good at looking after other people and making sure their needs are met, but when it comes to looking after myself, I drop the ball hard. Because like I mentioned earlier, I focus on one thing so thoroughly, and then everything else kind of falls to the side. I don't know if you've noticed on my channel, but I kind of go through phases of hobbies and stuff. Like I'm really into reading right now, and then I get so caught up in not being able to do everything. Like I want to do everything so much, and like all of the things I'm passionate about, but there's just not enough time or hours in the day, days in the week to do everything. Excuse me, the bubbles are getting to me. There's just not enough time for me to do everything I want to do. So I'm trying to find that happy balance, but it's very uncomfortable. Like I want to weight train, I want to run, I want to take the dogs for a walk, I want to do yoga, I want to knit, I want to read, I want to cook, I want to bake, I want to garden, I want to hang out with Dustin, I want to go rollerblading, I want to do all of these things. And I almost feel like if I don't do them all in a single day, then it'll never happen. I don't know how to like spread things out and do things in a balanced, manageable way. I need to go all in, go super, super hard, give my 100% on everything all at once, whereas I can't. He's still biting his paws. And I'm very overstimulated right now. But I have a hard time being like, okay, like 1 or 2 days a week I can go running, 2 or 3 days a week I can do weight training, and 1 day a week I can do yoga. I don't have that balance in my life. I think I need to do it all at once. And if I do one thing, I think it takes away from other areas of my life. Like if I spend 1 day baking and taking the dogs for a walk, then I feel like a huge failure because I didn't run that day, because I didn't do yoga, because I didn't knit. Instead of like prioritizing things, that's one thing I struggle with, is prioritizing. Then it causes me to spiral because I feel like a failure because I didn't accomplish everything in that 1 day, where I'm like, I have the rest of my life to do things. It doesn't need to be done now. I really rush myself to do things, and then that's when things get half-assed and I'm not happy with the work I've done. I just feel like I'm a letdown at the root of it, and that I'm not good enough, which that is a video coming up, me talking about not feeling good enough. But so say like I focus on myself and go for a run 1 day, but then when you choose to do one thing, when you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to another. So when I say yes to myself, going for a run, taking a shower, brushing my teeth, doing my skincare, reading, then that means I'm saying no to meal prepping for my family, taking the dogs for a walk, cleaning, vacuuming. It's just a very I have a hard time saying no and a hard time putting things on a back burner. I think everything needs to be the number one priority in my life at all times. And then what happens, which I'm sure a lot of people struggle with, when I feel like there's too many options, I get the paralysis and decide to do none of them. I will lay in my bed and scroll YouTube or scroll Facebook, and then nothing gets accomplished. So it's kind of very counterproductive, counterintuitive. And I haven't been journaling recently, and I can feel that. I've been microdosing, and that's another thing. I really enjoyed my microdosing. I did it today, and I definitely can feel the effects of it, but it's expensive. Like, it is pretty pricey, if I'm being honest. And another thing I'm trying to do is budgeting, and budgeting is hard. It's uncomfortable too, because I'm not used to doing it. But for microdosing, I really enjoy the effects of it, but I don't know if it's masking some things or distracting me from stuff. I know a lot of people use it to awaken things and to like enlighten them. And I think it definitely does that for me, because I'm sitting here filming this video right now, but I just don't know. I'm very much in a gray area in my life right now, and it feels like a lot of things are unknown. I feel very lost now that I'm not in school. That was another huge part of my identity, was being a student, and I think everyone kind of goes through this once they graduate, but I feel lost without that structure of being in school, without that guidance, without knowing what every single next step is going to be, and working towards something. And I also am not working in the area that I went to school for, which my parents are hard on me about it, and not many people know that I'm doing YouTube. I told Dustin, I told him about this, but a lot of people don't know that I'm doing it. So I think the people pleaser in me wants me to live up to other people's expectations, but I think my parents assume I just sit around all morning and not do anything, and that I'm just existing and like mooching off of them, which I don't want it to come across that way. But then that means I have to tell them about my YouTube channel, and I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet. I don't know if I'm ready to share this part of me with a lot of people, because YouTube is my safe place. I love coming on here and just talking about things and being open and honest and connecting with people who have experienced the same things as me and who have some similarities with me. This is my safe place. This is where I can be my unapologetically authentic self, and I love that. Like, I want to shelter my YouTube channel from my family and from people who know me in real life, because I don't want that to influence the kind of videos I make, because I like just being able to sit down and ramble on about drinking and depression and drug use and stuff, which is very hard to come by in my real life, like finding those people I am safe with and who I feel safe sharing this kind of stuff with. But so yeah, that's a long-winded way. I don't even know how we got here. But yeah, my depression is just like an uphill battle right now. It's really got me down and out. I think it's because I'm living day to day and I'm not looking bigger picture, which is fine. Like, some days you do just need to really sit down and focus on making it through the day, but I've been doing that for too long now, where I am literally getting dragged through my weeks, not taking advantage of my weeks and reaching my full potential. I definitely think I'm holding myself back with like some self-sabotaging, but I'm aware of it now, and I've never really been at this place in my life where I can look back and see the missteps I've taken, or where things kind of took a turn. I've just been striving to get through the days and post on YouTube and just be consistent with that. And I'm very happy with all of the work I've put on and all the videos I've uploaded. Like, don't get me wrong, nothing in them I'm disappointed in. Like, I definitely have given it my all, and I can feel that I've given my all, because other areas of my life have been slacking, and I just need to get a better grasp on not taking on too much. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I am my biggest critic. But my self-discipline, down the freaking drain. out the window. I don't hold myself very accountable to things. I'm really hard and judgmental about myself, but not in a supportive, encouraging way, in a very degrading, breaking me down, making me feel worse kind of way. And that is why I find myself in situations like this. So awareness is the first key to moving forward. And now that I have become aware of this, I don't really have any excuse. Like, ignorance is bliss, and now I'm aware of it, so now I have to do something to change it, or else I have no right to complain about where I'm at in life, because I am actively ignoring it and actively choosing not to improve. And no one feels sorry for a person who's like that. You're like, okay, get your shit together and move on. Like, hike up your skirt and carry on, lady. Anyways, I think I have rambled long enough. I really miss alcohol. That's one key takeaway. I don't miss it. I'm very thankful I'm sober right now, but I would really enjoy a drink to calm my mind and to focus on other things. But I know that is not going to solve any of my problems, and in the grand scheme of things, it's only going to make stuff worse. Being depressed is depressing, and having depression only makes me more depressed. I've learned that. And I'm going to try to change my mentality on stuff. I am going to try to stop doom scrolling and looking at Facebook, because it's only distracting me from my actual goals and from things I'm working towards, and it's only contributing to me feeling worse about myself and to my depression. Anyways, just know you're not alone if you also feel like this. And I will see you guys in a more happy video, because this was just me spilling it all out there for you. So please be kind in the comments. Please don't try to make me feel worse, because I am a sensitive lady, but sometimes I need a swift kick in the ass to get myself in gear and to keep going with things. So if you feel like you need to do that, feel free. But I also appreciate kind, uplifting comments. But anyways, I will talk to you in my next one. Bye.